80 years has been delighting their customers. So pick up Supreme Rice the next time you shop. For more information and unique recipes, learn more at supremerice.com.
Is it time for you to get new windows, doors, or siding? Then I have 2 pieces of advice for you. Call Tommy's Windows and get multiple quotes. Then you can compare our costs, products, and references. Go to gotommys.com to give us a chance. We're Tommy's Windows.
Go Tommy's!
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, May 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect possible scattered showers with a high of 94. In hour one of today's show, we'll talk about LSU baseball as they are bound for regional play. We'll recap LSU softball season and talk about the latest portal edition for LSU football. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Tuesday, May 26, 2024. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a great Memorial Day, and thank you to all who have served and who we honor on Memorial Day for affording us the freedoms that, we are allowed. And yeah, maybe nowhere better represented that than where I just got back from in Las Vegas, where, yeah, pretty much anything goes. An insane city, unreality brought to life. Just an absolutely absurd, ludicrous, capitalistic place, kind of American to its core in some weird ways. So shout out again to everybody who has sacrificed and served. On today's show, Jake is at the SEC spring meetings. So he will not be on the show, but you'll catch him on the station throughout the day, updating the latest as, they try to figure out what is next for the conference. And it's kind of an especially big one. We're going to touch on this a bit later, but that settlement that I know we've talked about on the show before, but I also know that not, the average person listens to the show for 12 minutes at a time or something, the analytics say. I don't know. The point is, maybe you haven't heard about it. But amateurism is really, for all intents and purposes, officially dead in college football, and they got to start to figure out how exactly this is going to work in terms of rev sharing, and we can talk about all that a bit later because obviously with Selection Monday being yesterday and the incredible run that the Tigers just went on in the SEC tournament, that is going to be the main topic of conversation this opening hour. We can kind of recap what happened over the weekend and then look forward to what's going to happen this weekend. I got Alondra Taylor with me today. How are we doing, guys? How you doing, Alondra?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very well. That's good to hear.
Yes.
You had a good weekend. Good Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I didn't do anything yesterday, so that's always...
Staycation is always great.
I love doing nothing.
I agree.
It's the best.
Both are fun.
I'm wondering, when's the next full week that we're all going to be in the studio at the same time? I feel like we've all just been, out.
It's tough. I know. I mean, I don't know. I got the trip, going to Ridley's wedding soon, hopefully to party with Gronk. So, I'll be out then. We'll see. Taylor, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. It was a good trip.
Doing well, Taylor. Let's talk correctly, please.
Okay, I'm doing
LP, but please.
I'm doing well if we want to be all proper.
Thank you.
It was a good weekend. Had a good time out there in Orlando, but glad to be back.
Oh, wait, that's right. Oh, my God. I just remembered you were in Orlando. I'm going to pepper you with all of my Disney adult questions and just really, okay, maybe I won't subject our listeners to that, but just know every commercial break I'm going to be just hammering you with questions.
Wait, I think you said it was May 26th. It's May 28th.
I don't think I said a date. Did I?
I don't know.
No,
They're saying in the chat.
What?
May 28th, T, catch up. May 26th. Vegas must have been legit.
Oh, you know what? I just looked at the date. If I said a date, it's entirely possible because I'm getting old. My eyes are getting worse. And yeah, that looks like a 6 to me, honestly. But now I see it's an 8. God, age. Another thing that Vegas made me feel old in some ways. Yeah, Vegas was legitimate. Incredibly good time. I'll tell you what. I love Dead and Company. I love the hippie movement. I love weird dancing. I love psychedelic visuals. I love guys that just seem to be tapping into some eternal stream of consciousness through their jamming together. And John Mayer's incredible. I mean, Bobby Weir, Mickey, the whole the OGs are still incredible as well. But Mayer, man, I have never seen a human being play the guitar like I saw John Mayer play this weekend. You see you rolling your eyes. I don't know, like, if, I mean, I don't know. I mean, most people, I think, when you think of John, when I say John Mayer, like, what do you think of?
Wait.
I think of like acoustic guitar.
Yeah,
that's what I think of.
Like, your body is a wonderland.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, right? No. I mean, he's been in Dead and Co. for 8 years now, and in these jams, he has brought his guitar playing ability to a level that I've never seen before. His version, the second show we went to, of All Along the Watchtower, was one of the most hard-driving, insane, face-melting things I've ever seen, and it was just a drop in the bucket over the weekend. So
I'm going to be very honest.
Yeah.
Did not know he was in Dead and Company.
I know.
Had no idea.
When they formed in 2016, he joined up, and a lot of people are kind of like, what? Because, ever since Garcia died, they've been trying a lot of ways to try to replace him, and they had, I think, some bands called like The Other Ones and some other versions, and nothing ever really took off until Mayer, and then I'm blanking on the new bassist name. He's very chill as well, but until they joined up, it never took off again, and yeah, I'm telling you, dude, Mayer, oof, God, that guy could play. So it was incredible. The Sphere, guys, the Sphere is truly everything that I said it was: an affront to the gods, a technological terror, a modern Tower of Babel rising out of the Sodom and Gomorrah that is Las Vegas, but it's also awesome. It is so odd and sci-fi and mind-blowing, and it's not just the rooms itself, it's the lobbies, it's the bars. I did one night in like this nice seats. I did one night in general admission to get the whole thing, and like the general admission bar straight up looked like you're in like a Star Wars cantina or any side. It's, again, if you ever have a band that you feel like this is like a bucket list thing and they're playing at the Sphere, I would say you owe it to yourself to go for no other reason to experience how high humans have reached before we come crashing down, because after seeing it, there's no way that we're not all doomed, given that thing even exists now. All right, anyway, let's get into some baseball. As, look, man, LSU goes on just a magical run last week in Hoover in the SEC tournament. And what it means that in the end, even though you fall short to Tennessee, LSU finishes the season with 40 wins, guys. 40 wins in a year in which you said that you weren't even supposed to make it. A lot of people were trying to tell you. 40 wins in which you had to sweep the final weekend to qualify, from 3-12 in the SEC to 17-18. 15-6 over your last 21 conference games. Overall, you won 18 of your last 24 games, and now you're going to be headed to Chapel Hill. But it's, it's tough. You end up losing to Tennessee, and it looked like you had a little more magic in you in that ninth, right? Getting a couple runners on, you had opportunity, you couldn't scratch them across. I mean, you want to talk about how brutal the game of baseball is? One day you're the hero, one day you're the GOAT. I mean, look no further than Stephen Milam, who maybe had the best tournament of any player out there. Bases loaded, 2 outs, gets picked at first, and that kind of felt like the moment. But again, I'll ride with Stephen Milam. I don't care. That sucked. It happened. But you know what didn't suck? Him hitting that walk-off home run to beat South Carolina for the second time in as many days in another insane game in which you were down 8-0. How about the first South Carolina game? Another high-scoring affair where they explode for 6 in the third. You immediately answer, come back. Answer. That's what this team did constantly this tournament. They immediately answered whenever a team would apply pressure. And that was not always the case with this team this year, right? There were times in the past where somebody landed a haymaker and you started to fold a bit. No longer. And how about Michael Braswell Jr. coming up with a game-winning hit against his old squad in that first South Carolina game? And so while it doesn't end in a championship, there is no way that you could call this week for LSU anything but an unqualified success. The pitching staff has more confidence and looks deeper than it has all season long. And it's kind of a continuation of what we said going into the SEC tournament, which is that, quite honestly, this staff has been dominant the second half of this season. Now, the South Carolina games maybe won't speak to that as much, but look, I would say two things. First off, well, of course, the SEC tournament, Hoover, you're having to go to combinations that you haven't had to all season long. And more importantly, when you had, and this is something that Jay Johnson kept coming back to in his post games from Hoover, when you had to get the zeros, you did, right? When it mattered most, the 8th and 9th innings, when you had, like Will Helmer's giving you 2 zeros. Will Helmer's really pitching well, even though he hasn't pitched in like over a month. I mean, but and he's just representative of a staff as a whole that is throwing with a lot more confidence right now. And although I'm sure some of the ERA numbers took a bit of a hit because of the South Carolina games, remember, you were talking about a sub-3 team ERA in SEC play for the second half of the season going into, after that Kentucky game. So Nate Yeskie, again, let the praise be as loud as the criticism was, because this staff has really come together. And as Jay Johnson said, you have two arguably the best 1-2 starter punch in the SEC when you talk about Gage Jump and Luke Holman. And now you have guys that he feels comfortable with situationally, right? How to apply all the different disparate elements of the bullpen into individual matchups, how to get guys out. Of course, you still have Griffin Herring, who's been the most dominant bullpen arm in the SEC all year long. We'll get to an update on Christian Little. His status is unclear as to whether or not he will be available for this weekend. Obviously, you hope that he is. That would be big if he's not. But again, an unqualified success. Because what were the struggles for LSU early on? Consistent pitching. They were awful team ERA the first half of the season. Okay, well, they obviously fixed that. Timely hitting was a struggle. Okay, well, they obviously fixed that. I mean, how about the first South Carolina game? You got Milazzo once again coming up, big sac fly. All he seems to do is produce in those biggest spots. I mean, obviously, you have the walk-off. Again, timely hitting showing up throughout this tournament, something that you did not have at the beginning of the year. And then a defense that still not perfect, but not making nearly as many mistakes and not as many critical mistakes as it did in the beginning of the year. So congrats to Tennessee, I guess, you bums. It sucks to lose to them for sure. You would have loved to take down Tony V and co. But I mean, I exit this week of Hoover with way more confidence. I think the team does as well, right? Like, as much as their final run through SEC play proved to them that they're better than maybe what their record said they were, if they had gone and lost to Georgia game 1 last week, I think we would all feel markedly different about their chances in this upcoming NCAA tournament. Now, after the run they went on, after the form they played in, after the questions that they answered, I mean, it to me feels like this is a team that nobody in the country would want to see right now. I mean, UNC cannot be happy with having to deal with LSU as their 2 seed, maybe the hottest team coming out of the SEC. So great week for the boys, just short of a championship. And Jay would have probably loved that one too, right? This was the best SEC tournament they've had under him thus far. Would have been a nice little trophy and addition to the case there. But ultimately, it all comes down to the NCAA tournament. And that's going to start this weekend in Chapel Hill. And we're going to talk about who you're going to be playing. Quick kind of scouting overpass on who the participants will be. So, as always, if you want to come hang out, you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045ESPN, guys. Hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channels. You can also subscribe to OTB LSU, OTB Saints, for all of your football coverage. And, go ahead and hop in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat if you want to get your takes in and come hang out. Go to, or stick around. We got more off the bench coming. Okay, do y'all want me to be completely honest?
No.
About why that just
I
happened?
to us.
No, it's fine.
Taylor stood up to do something over there, and in that camera, I saw a lot of butt crack. I saw some plumber's crack, and it distracted me a little bit. Are you wearing underwear, Taylor?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm not. All right. When we get back, let's go ahead and break down this Chapel Hill Regional. More off the bench coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Go explore all the vehicles on offer, all the great deals on offer at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. It's a great resource. Look, you're a military member. We always got special deals going on for you, or a veteran. You are a college student. Well, same deal. So why don't you see what's on offer by going to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, or you can just go see them off of Airline at Goodwood. It's very conveniently located, y'all. Whether you're looking for a new vehicle, Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get great warranty coverage. Maybe you just need a rent. Okay, you're going to Orlando or something. Rent that Toyota Sienna. Go see Miss Lisa Sessions. You'll get the best price, cheaper per day rental prices than your traditional rental companies. Which is also why the service center is so great. This is a free professional estimate. All makes and models are welcome. And if it's a big job, you can just rent a car right there. They also got a shuttle service that'll drop you off and pick you back up on the day of the work. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal.
Charles Hannegriff, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. We are taking the Memorial Day holiday. We'll be back on Tuesday getting you ready for the NCAA tournament. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I could taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your light. And sooner or later it's over. I just don't want to miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB here on this Tuesday. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday because Memorial Day was yesterday. Let's talk about Selection Monday. Christian in the Bayou Fort YouTube chat says Chapel Hill is the best possible draw. It's the path of least resistance to Omaha since we're avoiding SEC Supers. UNC will be a challenge. Similar stats in plain style to Tennessee. I think that's well said. So you're pairing up with the Arizona regional here. So perhaps if you get the job done down the road, Jay Johnson could be squaring up with his former team as Arizona, both Pac-12 regular season and tournament champions. But yeah, like he said, you avoiding the SECs. And look, you have 3 conference champions in LSU in this regional, but you, as you'll see, I feel pretty good about your chances. Now, of course, nothing's a guarantee, and UNC is very good. Like, let's not make any bones about it here. UNC is, obviously, they're the 1 seed in the regional, but they're the only non-SEC team with a top 4 RPI coming in at number 4. They went 22-8 in the regular season in the ACC, and that's a damn good ACC. 22-8 in the regular season. Now, they did end up losing to Wake Forest in the ACC tournament, but, it's the tournament, right? More impressive to me is a 22-8 regular season. And Christian mentioned them being similar to Tennessee, and that's because they are powered by their bats. Their outfielder Vance Honeycutt leads the team with 22 home runs. He's got 28 stolen bases as well. They have 3 players slugging over 1,000 this year in conference. Parks Harbor, who leads the ACC with 15 conference homers. Right behind him, Casey Cook, second in the ACC with 14 conference homers. And shout out to Kogi Riley, who compiled a lot of this information in The Advocate today. And then you got Anthony D'Onofrio, who's slugging over 1,000 as well. In terms of pitching, Jason DeCaro, he's a freshman. He's got a sub-4 ERA in conference play. He's a righty. Lefty Shea Sprague is a junior, sub-4 ERA in conference play. And then their main bullpen arm is a lefty, Dalton Pence, who is sub-3, has a 2.95 ERA in conference play. So as you see, almost built like even LSU on the mound there with 2 good starters and then 1 elite bullpen guy. Here is a very interesting stat to watch with this UNC team. As I said, they do hit for power, right? 3 guys slugging over 1,000. However, in what is truly representative of the modern age of baseball, they are fully leaning in to the what do you call it? It's not is it an ultimate result, absolute result? I can't remember what the exact phrasing is, but when it comes to kind of hitting theory nowadays, right? Like home run or strikeout, that's UNC. They strike out 19.3% of the time. So while they score a ton and they hit the ball hard and they hit it far, they also strike out about 1 of every 5 batters. Very feast or famine, right? Where I say that's a stat to watch, LSU, again, guys, credit to this staff, which struggled for much of the year, but has been awesome in the second half. LSU is 3rd in the country in strikeout percentage. So that would be an area that it would seem like you should be able to exploit if you are the Tigers. So that's a quick look at UNC, the 1 seed in the regional. Now, you'll square up with Wofford on Friday at, I believe, 11 a.m. Is that correct? Yeah, Friday, 11 a.m., ESPN U. You're going to have Wofford. And Wofford just won the Southern Conference. They beat Samford last week. They had to win 7 games in 5 days to win the title. Speaks to a tough team. And, well, I would say the only way you're going to win 7 games in 5 days ultimately is probably not going to be with your pitching. It's going to be with your hitting. And that's who Wofford is. How about this, guys? They're 2nd in the country in runs per game. They have scored 10.2 runs per game. They're averaging 10 runs a game on the year. They're 3rd in the nation in on-base percentage, a .443 on-base percentage as a team. They don't hit for the most power, but you know what they do? They run on you. 144 steals on the season. 100. How many does LSU have? Look it up, actually. It cannot be. Do you think maybe you're like barely into double digits?
Yeah, they don't.
144 steals for Wofford, 163 attempts of the year. How about outfielder Marshall Toole? He's 42 of 45 on the year. So if Marshall Toole gets on base, you know what's coming, Milazzo. Get ready. However, as good as Wofford is at the plate, they do seem to struggle on the mound. A team ERA of 5.75. Really, they only have one guy that you need to be on the lookout for. And now, unfortunately for LSU, you're going to see that guy Friday. And that is Zach Cohen. He's a legitimate Friday night guy. He's got 3 complete games on the year, 104 innings pitched for Cohen, and he's got a 3.55 ERA. So when you look at that, and like when I look at this Wofford team, and then last year, Johnson threw Skeens game 1, right, of the regional against Tulane, I believe, when a lot of people are maybe thinking you should have saved Skeens. I think you have to go Gage Jump or whoever you want to view as your one Friday. I mean, probably Jump because he has been. I think you probably have to go Gage Jump against Wofford because they are so good offensively and because Zach Cohen is legitimate. Now, if you can chase Cohen, there's not much behind him. And you should be able to have some offensive success. But I don't really think if you didn't get cute last year, I don't think you're going to try to get cute this year. I think you're going to try to secure 2 wins as fast as you can and then find a way to get a 3rd. Do we have LSU steals?
Yeah, 38.
Okay, there you go. So, okay, 38. Still, wow, feels like more than like what you would have, what would it felt like watching this year. But, yeah, so they basically tripled you up there in steals. So they're going to be hyper-aggressive on the base pass. Maybe a bit worrying because – I mean, I think back to the Vandy series from earlier this year where it seems like they ran all over you, but Alex Milazzo wasn't behind the dish, right? So we'll see, as Milazzo's been one of the real keys behind the second half rise of this team. And then finally, don't know much about these next guys. And even Jay Johnson yesterday was saying he really didn't know anything about them. He's got to get in the film room and learn about them. Now they know. But Long Island, shout out to Long Island. It's the second time in the last 3 years that they're going to be in the tournament. They beat Sacred Heart in the Northeast Conference tournament. They scored 7 runs in the 9th inning to win and to punch their ticket. Again, good offensive team, 392 on base percentage as a team. Their outfielder, Jake Mastillo, seems to be their kind of main bat. He's got 16 home runs on the year. Their top starter is a guy named Garrett Yawn, a 4 ERA and 16 starts. Again, honestly, I don't know much about the 4 seed Long Island. We'll learn more as the week goes on. Now, as far as LSU goes, now made the tournament 36 times. And how crazy is this? So they made a regional 36 times. This will be the first time they have ever played in an Eastern time zone for a regional. They're 108-27 all time in regional play, so been damn good. They never played Long Island or Wofford, so this Friday matchup is going to be another first. And, the last time you played UNC, a lot of you probably remember, It was 11 years ago it was in Omaha. And you end up losing 4-2. UNC would go on to lose to UCLA. But, you owe them for 11 years ago. So, look, this Friday, Game 1, LSU Wofford, 11 a.m. Game 2, UNC, Long Island. That's going to be at 5 p.m. If you lose, you will play, obviously, the loser of Game 2 at 11 a.m. Central on Saturday. If you win, you will play the winner at 4 p.m. on Saturday. And then, of course, there'll be an elimination game at 11 a.m. Sunday. And then the final game, potentially the final game at 5 p.m. on Sunday. And then, of course, if necessary, there will be a Monday game, but there is no time announced on that yet. So it's here, baby. The NCAA tournament is officially here, okay? And look, Hoover was awesome. Hoover's great. Losing the championship hurts, but you know what's going to feel even better than winning an SEC tournament championship? If you win a regional and you manage to go to Supers, and then you're just one good weekend away from Omaha with two of the best starters in the entire country. Make no mistake, UNC's a damn good team. But guess what? It's a tournament. There's going to be a lot of damn good teams. And if you want to accomplish your goals, you're going to have to be able to overcome those damn good teams. Like you have the entire half of this second half of this SEC season. I mean, look, you took a series off A&M when they were number one in the country, beat Kentucky when they were number one in the country. You damn near beat Tennessee when they were number one in the country. You can handle this. You can handle this. You need to carry over the confidence that you found over these past few weeks. And really, maybe an advantage that LSU would have even over UNC, if they're not just completely exhausted, is that they've had their backs against the wall. LSU's been playing essentially postseason baseball for well over a month now, whereas UNC's kind of been cruising a little bit, right? So you have these very hardened, sharpened, gritty, grizzled veterans in LSU against a team that, maybe has had it a bit easier as of late. In UNC, also LSU coming off a more successful conference tournament as well. So, again, I know if I'm a Tar Heel, this is probably the last. Honestly, if you look at all the regional hosts, LSU's probably the last team that almost anyone wanted to see, given the current form that they are in. So, look, we're going to obviously be breaking it down all week long. We'll talk to Coach Jay Johnson at some point this week. We can get some of his sound from yesterday as well. Let's go to break. When we get back, more LSU baseball here on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. Check it out. If you are a project manager or a designer, call up Pinnacle, okay? There are available jobs. They are looking to hire. And, well, look, guys, you go to the website, PECbuilt.com, and you're going to see why you want to be a part of this company. The creations they're making right now. If it's an outdoor kitchen, a living space, a custom pool, a spec pool, where you get to customize it with a variety of options that you choose from, like these templates, right? Fences, pergolas, bulkheads, all of it. Go look at the online gallery. You're going to be blown away. Wait till you see the home that they won all the awards for that they built in Roseanne. I've never seen a home this nice. So if you are a designer and you like to think big, you want big projects, you want to go work at Pinnacle. And again, project managers and designers now hiring. Pinnacle Exterior Construction. Go get your resume in there. And if you want to pull for the summer to beat the heat, man, hit them up, PECbuilt.com. Once again, that's PECbuilt.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
So we're taking the day off on Monday, but join us for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers. Hunt back in the chair. We're recapping the SEC tournament. Glenn West and Sharif Ishak join the show. It's the Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Driving that train.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Trouble behind, and know that notion just crossed my mind.
Rest in peace to Bill Walton, man. Got some great Bill Walton sound I want to play later. Really great story that he tells, but it'll also show you that Danny Ainge kind of sucks and his wife kind of sucks. But we can get to that a bit later.
Fellow deadhead.
I mean, I am not going to grant myself the rank of deadhead, but yes, it is about. I mean, that is the Walton story. He is telling an excellent story about all the Celtics back in the day. Asking Bill, like, hey, man, there's like all these like kind of hippies around, basically. What's going on? He's like, oh, the Dead are here. And Walton sets him up for them all to go to the concert together. But we'll play that sound in a little bit. Rest in peace. LSU softball falls just short over the weekend, man. Got the big Game 1 win. Got after Kennedy, the pitcher for Stanford in Game 1. But Game 2 and 3, man, Kennedy got a revenge. And the second one was very close to run affair. Stanford ends up breaking open the third game, ends up winning 8-0. And a very good softball year falls just short of Oklahoma City once again. And, yeah, I know it hurts. I know that hurts this team. Hurts Coach Torino. A lot of veteran leadership on this team. A great team that had... went through some highs, went through some lows, displayed some real toughness, had a lot of big wins against some of the best teams in the nation. But again, it's the tournament, man. And you got to be perfect to try and win. And they just couldn't quite find a way to come up with that second win in Stanford over the weekend. Any comments on softball before we move on?
So I was following it a lot this weekend, and it's heartbreaking too, Bob. Like 11-0 run rule against one of the top 10 teams in the country.
Yeah.
In game one, you feel so good about where you're at because a lot like the baseball team, this softball team was not hitting at all. Then they kind of both caught their stride at the same time. Like very similar seasons. You actually run rule a really good Southern Illinois team last weekend in Tiger Park to get to the Super Regional. Then you run rule Stanford. You're like, okay, you've put up double-digit runs in back-to-back postseason games. Like, you got this in the bag. Yeah, that Southern Illinois team, we were looking it up. They were like 40-12 on the year or something like that. So you score over double digits. You run rule back-to-back really good teams. And you're like, okay, like this is it. Win one of the next two, and you're in Omaha. And then to lose back-to-back and to get run ruled to end your season. I know I didn't really see it coming after the first game of that series. Like, you got to feel for that team. That is heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking, man, and for a lot of those upperclassmen, that's going to be your kind of last memory that you have. And I've been on the wrong side of a last game heartbreaking memory, and it sucks. So T's and P's up for the softball team. I know a lot of people want to have the conversation about Coach Torina's job status and whatnot. I mean, I think it's a successful season on the year. You win a regional. You're right on the edge of a super regional. You play damn well in the preseason. Incredible.
You started like 24-0.
Yeah, 24-0. And even though SEC play became a struggle, you still managed to finish 500. And again, you were right on the edge of making it back to the World Series. Just couldn't quite get there. So, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't make a change, but that's just me. Well, I will say this, like Scott Woodward, in terms of his decisions in that regard, has been elite. We talked about it last week, I think, a bit, just about this kind of almost this golden era that you're in for LSU right now. When you look at all the hires and you look at all the success that you're having in so many different sports, that ultimately whatever decision he comes to will be more educated and a better one than what mine would be. What else did I want to get to here? Okay, I have the quotes. I don't know if we were able to cut this sound. I have a couple Jay Johnson quotes that if we don't have the sound, that's fine. I'll just read them. So Christian Little may not be available this weekend. It was a lat injury he talked about after the game, not like anything in his arm or elbow. But when asked about it yesterday, he said, quote, "He's doing okay, but we'll have to see. It's tricky because we're in that time of year where if you can't pitch, you can't be on the roster because of potentially playing 5 games in 3 or 4 days. I'm optimistic based on where the pain is." Again, lat. This is my addition here. Quote, "and talking to Isaac Trujillo, but it will be about how fast he recuperates. He'll travel with us, but it's a Thursday decision if he'll be on the active roster with us or not." That feels like a pretty big deal. He's given you so many valuable innings down the stretch here. And it's not to say that it's been perfect, but it's been good more often than not. And so I desperately hope that whatever is going on with that lat, they can get it figured out, get the treatment done, and find a way to get Christian Little available for the regional this weekend. Because, again, I think you got to throw Jump and Holman games 1 and 2, and then you got to figure it out from there. And Christian Little is going to be a key part of figuring it out somewhere in that timeline. And then finally, here's on kind of what to expect this week. It's a longer quote, so forgive me. But
wait, is this the where he was laying out the plan?
Yes.
Okay, I have that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here's what Jay Johnson has on the timeline of what to expect this week.
Yeah, we needed a rest day today. So especially those guys that were on their feet for 5 days. I'm really thankful to our administration. We got us a plane yesterday to get home, and I think the difference in getting home at 9 p.m. versus bus and 2:30 a.m. is very impactful. So those guys will be in the training room today. Tomorrow we'll have a light workout, which will consist of mostly in the cages, and then the strength and conditioning piece will be important tomorrow because we played just about every day of last week. We'll have a regular or more normal practice on Wednesday to cover some things that we uncover, about our opponent on Friday. And then we'll probably shower and eat here and then leave mid to late afternoon and then get there, get a good night's rest. It's a 1 hour time change. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm always very sensitive to that in conference play when we do that. So getting there Wednesday I think is important. And then we'll have the practice day. You get like an hour and 15 minutes, I believe, on the field on Thursday. Another one of my favorite days of the year because there's 235 teams having exit meetings today and looking at 2025. And and then Friday, I don't know what time we play. I know we're playing Wofford, and from there, it's one pitch at a time.
Yeah, so the time's going to be noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, which obviously LSU should be completely fine with. I think the biggest takeaway from that quote is, again, just how cognizant Jay Johnson is of all the different elements. I also love the detail about the LSU administration getting them the plane ride home, right? Showing that you're committed. Y'all played awesome. You earned this. And it is a massive difference having to sit on the bus all night and get home at 2:30 a.m. versus getting home at 9 and getting that full night's sleep. And rest and recuperation is going to be the theme for the next couple of days as they try to get juiced up for this weekend. And I think they have the timeline to do it. And obviously, like I said, we call Jay Johnson the Time Lord in terms of looking into the future and laying out the exact plans for pulling off these insane runs of play. Well, who else would you want in charge of this week's schedule? All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1 here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to ColemanRoof.com. That's Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com, the most reliable, respected, and complete roofing company in Louisiana. Look, reliable and respected, you can go look at the online reviews for that because they are fantastic. Satisfied customer after satisfied customer. Talking to the Coleman guys, I was struck by the passion to which they display for making sure that the job is done correctly no matter what. No matter the challenges, no matter anything unexpected that comes up, they fight for you. If you want to know why they're most complete, well, I can tell you that. It's any size job, commercial or residential. It's anywhere in the state of Louisiana or the entire Gulf South region. It's any type of roof. They have certified installers for all of them. And it's even the construction portion. That's right. They rebuild the interior and the roof. So what are you waiting for? ColemanRoof.com. ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Matt Moscona from all of us here at AFR, wishing you and yours a very happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. We'll take Monday off and be back on Tuesday. We'll know LSU's regional destination, and we'll talk about it. So join us Tuesday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Dancing in the streets. Dancing.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Tad and y'all, welcome back to OTB. Actually, we're going to open up next hour, Taylor, with a conversation on a new addition that LSU made through the transfer portal, and surprisingly, potentially impactful one that you may not have considered before. But if we remember back to Brian Kelly's statements after spring, it'll start to make a lot of sense. I want to read this Jay Johnson quote. I'm kind of talking about the current form of his team, and I just came across this on an On3 article, but I do feel a transcript of yesterday's press conference, but I do feel that it kind of reinforces some of the points that we were making in the opening segment of this hour, just about how LSU's answered a lot of these specific questions that we had about this baseball team for so much of this year. He says, quote, it's so day to day. What I do like about our team is we have a mindset and belief that is stronger than it's been. They had to win to earn it, and they did. They won a lot. Having 40 wins before the NCAA tournament starts is a good accomplishment. We have a brand of baseball now and an identity with good starting pitching. And the real positive of the SEC tournament is, I know we gave up a lot of runs, but when we needed to get zeros in the back half against South Carolina, we absolutely did. Then yesterday, that's number one. Those first four guys, talking about the Tennessee lineup here, those first four guys are all major leaguers. And we held them to 4 runs and had a chance to win the game. The pitching dynamic is good and the bats have gotten better. Our defense has gotten better. We have an identity and we have confidence. And that's what makes us tough to play. And I would agree with that. And it's a fascinating look into, if you just look at the arc of the LSU baseball team this season, it's a fascinating look into persistence, overcoming adversity, believing in yourself, and finding ways to improve. And really even down to like a kind of a case study on coaching styles. Because remember, coaches have to, look, a coach is going to have kind of like an overall personality, but you're also going to have to adjust to whatever the situation at hand demands. And I think it was like after maybe the Tennessee series where you played well but got swept, that Jay Johnson told us and told everybody that kind of his strategy is, look, I'm going to keep it positive. We're going to keep it real positive with this team, and we're going to keep encouraging because I know we are better than what we look like currently. And, it's not for sure that was going to be the correct choice, right? Sometimes teams respond to a little ass chewing. Sometimes you have to be at a hard line. But his view of this team and its makeup was, no, we're going to keep it positive, and I think that's going to be the thing that'll guide us through. And, well, I'll be damned if Jay Johnson wasn't right once again. If the turnaround from 3-12 to 16-5 does not, or excuse me, 15-6 does not prove to you what an elite coach Jay Johnson is, well, then nothing's going to. I mean, already I'm shocked at the amount of doubt that you had after the 3-12 start and how loud some of the noise got. But again, like I said with Nate Yeski, let the praise be as loud as the criticism was, because you have one of, if not the best coach in the entire nation in Jay Johnson. You have a truly special manager there. And, well, I think this year, in some ways, even more so than last year, this year proves it. No crews, no schemes, replacing everybody in the field save for Tommy Tanks, bringing in new starters, having arms that were great falter and having to figure out answers on the fly, having to deal with the beginning of that schedule, starting 3-12 and then fighting your way to a 2 seed, having a sweep on the final weekend, having to go on a run in Hoover. I mean, it's everything. It's a very impressive year, but it ain't done yet. In fact, in some ways, it's just beginning with the NCAA tournament starting this weekend. Hey, shout out to Louisiana, by the way. 6 teams from Louisiana making the NCAA tournament. About 7% of the schools of the tournament come from this great state. North Carolina, funnily enough, the only school with more teams in the tournament, as they have 7. California, Florida, New York, and South Carolina have 4 each. All right, when we get back, hour number 2, let's talk about a new player out the portal. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com. Take control of your comfort zone today, okay? Any AC, heating, or electrical needs, you want to go with Accutemp. You want to talk about online reviews, man, go look up theirs. Because their core mission statement, the foundational cornerstone upon which their business is built, is this idea of service to the highest degree. And I would say with nearly 4,000 reviews on Google and a 4.9 rating, they're fulfilling that mission statement. And I've worked with them multiple times, and I can speak to it myself. Why don't you also ask about the Star Club membership, where they go and they just check up, you pay them flat monthly rate, and they make sure to stay on top of your system, avoid any catastrophic issues down the road. And then if you need a whole home generator for storm season, there's nobody better. Get that free professional estimate. Go to Actemp Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, May 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 94 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll talk LSU football and the transfer portal. We'll do a little bit of OTB mailbag. And then in the 9 a.m. hour, Nick Underhill will hop on to talk some New Orleans Saints. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Hope you're all having a great day. What's going on, man? Tuesday, May 28th. Off the bench. Hope you had a great Memorial Day. Again, thank you to everyone who has served and sacrificed that we celebrated yesterday by, getting to relax and be with family and get a day off. It is very much appreciated. Coming up on this hour, I want to talk a little transfer portal as we got we got some news there. Real quick, before we get there, how about I mentioned 6 schools from Louisiana making the the NCAA tournament. Only North Carolina getting in more teams with 7, but yeah, Grambling, LSU, La Tech, Nichols, Tulane, and UL all fighting their way there. Shout out. North Carolina got in Duke, East Carolina, UNC, NC State, Wake Forest, UNC Wilmington, and High Point. And like I said, California, Florida, New York, and South Carolina have 4 teams apiece. Here's a little fun fact. Which Louisiana high school do you think has the most players in the tournament?
Barb.
Close. Barb is second with 6 players in the tournament. The first team is, a school that I think if you listen to this station often enough, you'll hear yelled in a somewhat annoying manner quite often.
Catholic High?
Yep.
I don't know what gave it away.
7 players for Catholic High. Ruston and Santa Maria have 5, and Holy Cross has 4. So shout out to all those baseball powerhouses. Real quick, I do want to remind you, if you are looking to work for the largest instrumentation electrical contractor in the entire nation, that's headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, but has offices all over the globe. You already know I'm talking about the MMR Group. If you want to explore working for MMR, well, guess what? I don't care if you're a college student looking for internship, if you've been in this business for a while, or if you're just starting out in this career path, MMR has a variety of positions available. So if you want to ignite your career, right? You want to join an organization with outstanding benefits and outstanding culture. One of my favorite parts of getting to know them was speaking to some of these young college interns and seeing the jobs they had gotten to go on all over the world and the adventures they got to go on their days off, whether it's skiing or hiking. It was just, it's crazy, man. And it's all headquartered right here in Baton Rouge. That's why on Off the Bench, we're so proud to be partnered with the MMR Group. And I would encourage you, once again, to apply now at mmrgrp.com. That's mmrgrp.com. All right. Let's go ahead and get to some of this transfer portal news. As the LSU Tigers have taken in another portal player. This time, it's a punter. Blake Oschendorf. And you may be saying, well, T-Bob, a punter, that's, what, like, are we really talking about this? A punter in the Pirtle? How much does that actually matter? Well, I would say this. Do you remember the quotes that Brian Kelly had coming out of spring on the punting position? Of course, Jay Bramblett now gone. Jay did a solid job last year. Peyton Todd, coming out of high school, ranked as the number one punter in the entire nation out of West Monroe. Very tall, great body. But I was kind of shocked at the time with Kelly's quotes, and I'll read them to you now to set up why Oschendorf maybe matters so much here. This was Brian Kelly on Peyton Todd's performance after the spring game, in which I think Todd only averaged about 36 yards a punt, somewhere around there, saying, quote, "Not as consistent as I would like. I thought today was an opportunity for him to just say, there is no competition here. He's got to be more consistent, quite frankly. He's long. He's got all the tools. He's a classic case of today. You got 14 practices. You look great. But today, the ball was wobbling. It was not about what I was looking for, nor was it, or it's not what I was looking for, nor was it what he was looking for either. He's a great kid, but this is about performance. On Saturdays, he's got to do a better job." So, for all the talk of like spring game doesn't matter, or like when we say that a lot of times, it does in some ways, because it's the thing that most evokes the game day feel and maybe shows you who's going to step up when the game day feel is in the air. And unfortunately for Peyton Todd, he struggled to the point where they felt that they needed to bring in competition. And, well, bring in competition they did, because Blake Oschendorf is a very good punter. In fact, like he said, La Tech last year, he ended the season first team All-Conference USA. He's 6'6", 220. He averaged nearly 46 yards a punt on 53 punts last year, 45.72. That led Conference USA. He set the Louisiana Tech record for single season average. He had 17 punts of more than 50 yards. He forced 25 fair catches, which again led Conference USA. He had punts of 70. He had punts of 66. And he's been in college football forever. I don't understand how he still has eligibility left, Taylor. Maybe you've explored this and can figure it out more. But he started in 2018 at Minnesota State University Moorhead. He played 2 years there, in which he averaged, I think, around like 38 yards a punt. So he's gotten better over the years. He played 2 years there. Then he transferred to Eastern Michigan from 2020 through 2022, which is 3 years. He didn't play there. Then he goes to La Tech last year, dominates, first team All-Conference USA, and now he's at LSU in what appears to be his 7th season of college football. Again, I don't exactly know what the breakdown here is. There a medical and a red shirt mixed in there, plus a COVID year. Either way, you have a guy who was damn good last season. And I think I think back to the old Bill Parcells quote. And let me see if I can. Should I paraphrase it, or should I just on filling out? Let me see if a quick Google search can pull this up, because there's a great old quote. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find it just off the top here. There's a great old quote from Parcells about where he was basically asked, like, why do you put so much effort into, who's the 53rd man on the roster, right? Like, why do you put so much effort into trying to maximize whatever you have there? And he just talks about, look, man, in a 17-game season, those decisions in the innocuous area, it's way more than the 53rd person on the roster. I mean, you're talking about somebody relying for teams back and give them long field. Like Iowa is so obsessed with great punting because it really sets up everything that they want to do from a team identity standpoint. And certainly that's not going to be LSU, and you hope the offense is good enough where the punter doesn't have to be too impactful here, but it's a massive position in terms of winning games. I mean, the game that I will name by consistently flipping the field and setting up our defense for success and forcing Alabama to try to put together long drives, ended up in long field goals that they were consistently missing. I've never seen anything like it. Well, the bottom line is it's an incredibly important position if you're going to be a championship team. Special teams is one of the 3 pillars, and punter is basically 50% or damn near of what your special teams output is going to be. So this is a big pickup, in my opinion, in Oschendorf, if for no other reason to bring in competition. I mean, who knows? Maybe this is the best thing that happens to Peyton Todd, right? At some point, some things click, and maybe bringing in competition, and it's going to drive you to practice more, leave no stone unturned, put everything that you have to try to win that starting job. Like, whether it's Oschendorf or whether it's Todd, I believe the bottom line is after this signing, you're going to get a better punting performance than what you would have had. And if you're trying to put together a winning roster, you're trying to win in the margins, you're trying to get to that 12-team playoff that, LSU fans would expect you to be in, even though it's looking like a very crowded dance hall this fall. Well, these are the type of decisions that I believe help get you there. So I think this is a sneaky, great signing here with Oschendorf if he can repeat what he did last season. And what a rise for Oschendorf. Starting at Minnesota State University Moorhead, then Eastern Michigan where he did not play, then La Tech, and now to the big leagues, the SEC and LSU, where he'll be playing on national television damn near every single week. So I think again, a very shrewd move for Brian Kelly and company, and I'm excited to see how this competition plays out. Again, 6'6", 220 guys. That's a big boy, Oschendorf is. But the bottom line, you got better with this move. And that should be the goal of any roster move that you make is, did it make you better overall? And this did. In the margins and then some, I would say. All right, coming up next, let's do some OTB mailbag. That's right, baby. Get your questions in the chat, the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll answer them next. It's going to be about anything. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Let's go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. You need steel. You want to go there. They're in Gonzales, Louisiana. They got a live and local sales team that you interact with. Imagine that. Actual human beings are... If you're used to ordering from the national guys, maybe you're dealing with call services, maybe you're dealing with email services. There's no relationship there. Not the case at Community Steel. Also, the prices, which maybe is the most important part, the best prices, because they go straight from the wholesaler to manufacturing all the purlin, tubing, sheet metal, roof, like everything that you need, steel buildings. They manufacture themselves, meaning that there's no middleman jacking up the price on the back end. You reap the benefits. And because they're in Gonzales, you can also just go see them in person, see the product, shake the hands, okay? Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product
is Charles Hannegriff. Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. We are taking the Memorial Day holiday. We'll be back on Tuesday getting you ready for the NCAA tournament. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Happening, y'all. Welcome back. OTB. Nookie says, how's OTB this morning? T-Bob was solo. Oh, I bet that was fun. Actually, not at all. I spent a whole segment talking about backup punters. Okay. Admittedly, that did make me laugh. Okay. But, just wait. There is going to be a couple moments this year where you're like, F yeah, Blake Oschendorf. That's what I'm talking about, okay? I hope you think back to this and you apologize in your brain.
Not really a backup punter, but I think he'll be the starting punter.
Yeah, he probably will be the starter. At least that's what it would look like. But still a funny comment nonetheless, Nookie. Now shut up. You know, one thing that was crazy about the Dead in the Sphere is that we ended up we knew we were going Saturday, and then we ended up last second going on Sunday again. Completely different set, 100% different music, and nearly probably about 80% different visuals. And these were like very intensely, deeply done visuals. So I was incredibly impressed with the bespoke nature of the Dead's performance, which I guess, I mean, you know, look, and starting to read about them and look them up more and getting hooked a bit here, seems to be what they're all about, right? These sprawling, improvisational, jam bandy performances in which every show is different. And some nights it's great, some nights it's less than, but we got a couple of good ones over this weekend. Okay, let's do a little OTB mailbag.
I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Hashtag OTB mailbag. T-Bob, how many dwarf wrestlers do you think you could take in a cage match? Call me Snow White, because 7. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
I low-key feel like you could take more than that, but...
I'll give you props for the
more
joke.
Than 7 people?
I think so. They're dwarves. Yeah.
Are they trained? Are they trained wrestlers though?
Oh, guys, I don't know. I just wanted to get the snow.
You're
white
way
line
bigger
off.
than them.
Y'all need to relax. Hashtag OTB. If you don't relax, I'm going to ask Tiger Bates question.
Please don't, because I don't even get that.
Hashtag OTB mailbag.
I'm disgusted by that.
What is the you view?
No, let's not even.
I'm guessing that somebody was caught having public
Let's
sex
not.
in the pool yesterday.
Let's stop.
Hashtag
Please.
OTB mailbag on the Dutch version of Memorial Day. The entire country stops at 8 p.m. for 2 minutes of silence to honor the fallen. Cars pull off the road. Service stops. Question, do we do enough? I mean, doesn't feel like it after viewed in that light. I don't know. I'm probably not in a position to answer that, right? I think you'd have to answer the loved ones of those who are memorializing those who have kind of made that ultimate sacrifice, and if they think so or not. I do think, as dumb as this sounds, I do think a day off, though, is a great way to honor them because you engage in the activities and the freedoms that make America unique. And really what you're sacrificing for, right, is that everybody back home can be with their family and eat and celebrate and have time together. Like, that's ultimately what you're fighting for, is that freedom. And so I do think there's a beauty there at least. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Any Corn Hub baseball thoughts? Big Ten champs, also a 2 seed. I feel bad. I had no idea. Nebraska baseball was doing that well. Also
took down Penn State on
really
Sunday to win it.
I care about Nebraska baseball too much.
So Corn Hub's only on the football field.
Kind of. But that is, good for them, sure. Hashtag OTB mailbag. How many SEC teams will make it to Omaha? DeLucci says 6. I'm gonna go 4. I mean, 11 made it. I don't know. I feel like 6 would be insane. It just feels like the math wouldn't work out. But again, 11 teams in, maybe so. What do you think?
I was going to say 5 and split it.
Okay.
About half.
Split the difference. Hashtag go to your mailbag. What was on your Memorial Day plate yesterday? I was traveling all day, so I got some a lot of airport food. Yeah, a little Jersey Mike sub to start the day. Actually, in Austin, I had a delicious little Chinese barbecue fusion bowl that was quite tasty. And then when I got home, I went full fat boy and got me some sesame seed chicken and lo mein. I'm feeling awful. What did you guys do for Memorial Day food-wise yesterday?
I just normal. I didn't do anything.
I'm saying no grilling out, nothing
No,
like
I didn't
that.
really do anything. No.
I had blackened flounder topped with fried popcorn shrimp, a side of grilled shrimp, and a crab cake with remoulade sauce on top.
Wow.
We were on the road and we stopped
fantastic.
We stopped at Oyster House in Mobile, which is one of my favorite seafood restaurants, when we were coming home from Orlando yesterday. So
Hell yeah, dude.
it's kind of what we had.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Would T-Bob take a pegging for an LSU baseball title repeat? Yeah. My wife, for sure.
T-Bob would take pegging for a lot of things, I feel like.
No, I'm just not closed off to it. You know this. I don't see an issue with it. Especially if it's my wife. Yeah, that's fine. Hashtag OTB mailbag. WTF is a Tar Heel. I don't know.
I think it's like a. All right, from the don't shoot the messenger. I got this from UNC's website.
Okay, probably correct.
It's like a word for poor white people.
Okay, like
poor laborers, poor white laborers.
Okay, so it's like a blue collar, collar work.
Yeah.
They worked in a lowly trade.
Yeah,
is what Google says.
Also, can call them rosin heel.
Okay, yeah, Tar Heel's probably a little better.
Yeah.
It's funny because UNC doesn't have a particularly blue collar feel anymore. They feel a little like uppity.
Their mascot's also like a ram randomly. So,
well, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like an old soot stained chimney sweep?
Just a big foot. Just a big foot.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Why did it take Jay Johnson so long to listen to Alondra about hitting Braswell leadoff?
I never told him.
I know. You should have. Maybe we would have gotten there quicker. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Opinion on the Sphere. Worth it? Absolutely. In my opinion, again, guys, it is every bit the technological terror that I was promised. It is so sci-fi feeling. It will blow your mind. Sci-fi on the outside, maybe even more so on the inside. The general admission bars legitimately feel like you're walking onto a Star Wars movie set. It's again unlike anything I've ever seen before. So yes, if there is an act there that you think like, wow, this is my favorite, I would say it might be like a bucket list thing to try and go check out. It's definitely a bucket list thing for me. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Be honest, how many times did you give up during the 8-0 deficit in South Carolina? I mean, I gave up as soon as you went down 8-0. So I apologize, but made it. Hashtag OTB mailbag. T-Bob. Going to the Micro Maidens Little Dancer show in Denham on Saturday? No, I don't know what that is. Let's just move on. I don't want to. Hashtag OTB mailbag. When LSU makes the College World Series and the LSU fans beat the insane jello shot record they made last year, I would say probably not, because you played in about as many games as you could have last year, and so you had as much time as possible. So like even if you were to win it, I doubt you would win it in the same manner, maximize the amount of games. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe Gordon would do the 8,888 reasons to rally again, but I would say probably not.
But it's also like a thing now. So maybe people are going out there like, oh, I'm going to get 1 million jello shots to help break the record.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's a way bigger thing now than what it used to be.
Every year it becomes bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the market is not fully tapped, but I mean, maybe look up the leaderboard last year and see what it ended on.
Well, who was it last year? Like Todd Graves bought a lot of jello shots.
Yeah.
I think Gordon bought some jello shots as well. So it's like
that was the hats, the
8,888
reasons to rally
to break the record. Like
yes.
Now that you have the record, are you going to have people from businesses doing the same thing they did last year? I don't know.
Hashtag go tweet mailbag. How's Quad Bob doing? He's doing great, man. He's a big boy. It's insane seeing the difference between boys and girls because he is like, he's just insane. He has like real Bam Bam energy. He just picks up stuff and hits stuff all the time. Like bats, wooden spoons, metal spoons. He dented the fridge the other day, just taking a big metal spoon and just whacking it repeatedly. Something his father does a lot as well. So he's doing excellent.
I think boys, like little boys, are just insane. They're wild.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird to see that firsthand. Hashtag go tweet mailbag. Why is Taylor showing off his crack to T-Bop? It's a good question, dude. I freaked me out the first segment. Hashtag go tweet mailbag. Silver Sun Pickups playing in BR in 2 weeks. Should I go? Alondra, do you know who Silver Sun Pickups?
I do not.
I don't either. Andre Gwynn, hashtag go tweet mailbag. T-Bop, when are you going to spread quarters? I'm going to be going to spread quarters sometime this spring or summer. I just got to line it up. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. I cannot wait. Been wanting to pod with Deb forever. It's just, man, again, it's just tough with all these little ones running around, especially when I'm already in my poor wife's had to be a solo parent 12 of the 27 days of this month so far.
Speaking of Dev, apparently he went to the same spot I was at yesterday for his RB&R day.
Oh, really?
Different. So they have two locations.
Yeah,
they got one in Mobile and they got one in Gulf Shores. But yeah, they said he was at the one in Gulf Shores yesterday.
Hashtag OTV mailbag. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good is Panda Express teriyaki? I don't get the teriyaki. You get the orange chicken. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really get the teriyaki either.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Favorite ride at Universal?
For me, it's Velocicoaster.
I didn't get to do the Velocicoaster.
It's good.
At Universal?
Velocicoaster is awesome.
The Hulk.
I used to love, I will say, dude, the Hulk was super fun back in the day. The Spider-Man ride was a game changer.
Spider-Man's great. And then Transformers, same ride, just different part.
The Rockin' Red, something like that.
Rip Rad Rocket.
Yeah, that one's fun too.
They took a lot of the music off, though. It was something about like Universal's music rights or something. You used to have like 25 songs. They got like 4 now.
I always did Hella Good. By No Doubt they had that one.
I mean, again, I look at rides like Rise of the Resistance and others, and I feel like Spider-Man was kind of the genesis of a lot of those rides. It's always been close to my heart. I think the Mummy ride's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one is fun.
Funnily enough, I guess the funniest part about the Harry Potter stuff at Universal is like the most fun part is actually probably the shopping. Like the rides are okay. Like Escape from Gringotts is cool. The Hogwarts ride's pretty cool. Of course, Dueling Dragons is awesome. If you ride front row,
Not there no more.
What's it called now though?
It's a Hagrid's motorbike.
Yeah, they just reskinned it, right?
Well, so the whole ride's gone though. Like it's a completely different.
Wait!
design.
You're telling me Double Dragons isn't there at all anymore?
Nope.
Where you go at each other?
Yeah, it's not there anymore. You used to have Fire and Ice. No, so it's Hagrid's motorbike adventure. So it's like the motorcycle
was a
and the
new
sidecar.
ride in addition to.
Gone.
Well, that's garbage. Then.
I know. I liked it way
Dueling
better.
Dragons was dope.
Yep.
You would really feel like you were going to hit
And
the other
you
people.
could have kept it because there's a ton of dragons in Harry Potter anyways.
That's
but
what I thought they did. Oh, lame.
Yeah, I do like the simulation one in Hogwarts.
Which one?
Like the one where you're
Escape
flying.
from Gringotts, I think.
No, that's the one where you're flying on a broom.
Yeah, that's a Hogwarts one. Yeah, I mean, again, I agree, and I think the other one's okay. But yeah, those are all, like I said, like they feel like they all grew out of the Spider-Man genre of ride that they created, that mixed reality sort of genre. Hashtag go to mailbag. How do you get away with leaving your wife to solo parent so much? Well, one was for a week of work, first off, and then this last one was simply because it was just like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Daniel Basham says dueling bad dragons. Daniel, somebody get the sheriff out here immediately, right now. That's the horniest thing I've seen in forever. All right. On that, I think that'll be it for mailbag. Bunny Money says, OTB mailbag. So the Sphere is worth the hype. Can you imagine when Dana White brings a fight to the Sphere? Holy cow. So they are doing that?
Yeah, September's like, I don't know if it's the 16th, but it's that weekend. UFC 306 is at the Sphere.
What's going to be on the screen behind them when they're fighting?
Like I was going to mention
Is it just going to be like a projection of the fight?
Oh, whatever they want, dude.
Yeah.
It is. So the thing that was maybe the most impressive part to me was they would have these custom animations, right? These insane animations. But the way in which they would infuse the live feeds of them playing into the animations was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like truly, truly mind-blowing. Yeah. And so, they could just do a raw feed easily. It is super high fidelity. But they could also really blow your mind in a lot of insane ways if they want to, which I'm sure they will. I mean, it's Vegas. Also, like, the thing about the Sphere is it looks so alien, right? Its architecture because it's so genius. It's not a dome. You see the Sphere, it starts to curve back under itself just enough to where it looks like a ball that's been like planted in the ground perfectly. Its round nature is so at odds with the angular architecture everywhere else in the city that, again, it feels alien. It feels sci-fi. It feels like something out of 2001 Space Odyssey. And that all is brought in on the interior design as well, where it's a lot of like rounded edges, circular sort of shape language, and it all comes together to it's just over the top, dude. It's just over the top. How did John Mayer sound? He sounded incredible. Like I said, that's probably the best guitarist I've ever seen live in my entire life, and I don't even think it's particularly close. Bobby Weir was on fire. Mickey blew my mind with drums and space. Just absolutely fantastic. But yeah, and again, I think any show that you would go see there would blow your mind. I mean, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I don't know how many people it holds. That's a good question. It looks really big, though. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Look, we still got Nick Underhill coming up. We got weekend winners. We got our NFL story of the day. So keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. You need window coverings that, wow! You want K to Z, okay? You want your home to feel like the Sphere? Take it to the next level with the correct shades or drapery. Or maybe it's like what Jake got, the shade that lowers automatically in his outdoor living area, which not only helps control the temperature outside when you're hanging out, but also blocks sun from entering his home and causing a glare on the television, because that's what Brandon Barton does. Okay? His knowledge goes so deep that you don't even realize the ways in which you can improve your home. And I don't care if it's a starter home or the home of your dreams. We got options for all price points at K to Z. So have Barton out to your home today. Have him give you that free estimate, let you know exactly what set options are, and take your home to the next level. It's finally time to tie it together and make your home of your dreams. With K to Z window coverage, KTOZblinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road.
So we're taking the day off on Monday, but join us for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers. Hunt back in the chair. We're recapping the SEC tournament. Glenn West and Sharif Ishak join the show. It's the Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. All right. Speaking of the dead, this sounds like a darker setup. I mean, the band, of course, the Grateful Dead. Yesterday, one of the biggest Grateful Dead fans and really a basketball and American icon in Bill Walton passed away from cancer at the age of 71. Man, very sad. But you know, when someone passes, you celebrate them. And one of the stories making the rounds yesterday, I thought was great, and it was Bill Walton talking about going to the concert, a Grateful Dead concert back in the day with the Boston Celtics. So here is an excellent story from Bill Walton to remember him by.
One day at practice, Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish and Dennis Johnson, they cornered me. They came over and said, "What's going on, Bill?" I said, "What do you mean what's going on? We're just getting ready for practice." And they said, No, Bill, something's happening here in Boston because there's all kinds of people with tie-dye T-shirts on. They all got long hair and they smell funny. What's happening here? I said, "Well, the Grateful Dead are coming to town." They said, "Really? The Grateful Dead? Jerry Garcia? They're going to play in Boston? Do you know those guys, Bill?" I said, "Yeah. Then I know them. I'm going to go to the concert too." And they said, "Well, do you think we could go too, Bill?" I said, "Let me check it out." And so I go out and I asked Ramrod and Big Steve and Robbie Taylor and all the guys if it would be all right if some of the Celtics would come. And they said, "Sure, no problem." But I had to explain to everybody in the Grateful Dead that this was, in Boston, and the Celtics were just icons, and they couldn't really go out in public because they were so popular. So they said, "We'll take care of this, Bill." And so they built this special little enclave right on the side of the stage where, unless you were on the stage, you couldn't look into this little area. It's all curtained off and everything. Just a perfect little place to watch the concert. And everybody that night met at Larry Bird's house. Everybody, that is, with the exception of Danny Ainge. His wife wouldn't let him go. And so here we were at Larry's house. We met at Larry's house, and he arranged for this incredible fleet of limousines for us to all go to the concert together. And so we get there, and I'm introducing all the guys backstage. Jerry, here's Larry, Kevin, here's Bob Weir and Phil and Robert Parrish and Dennis Johnson, literally everybody just going around. And then Cameron comes up, Cameron and Robbie, they come up and they say, "Okay, it's time to start the show. Let's go, you guys." And so they take us up on the stage first, and the lights are all dark, so you can't see anything. And we sort of sneak around and we go in the back, and then they bring these coolers full of our favorite drinks, milk and water and 7-Up, and put them right in front of us. And then the Grateful Dead come up on the stage, and the crowd just goes nuts. It's the most electric atmosphere, and everybody jumping up and down, the anticipation, the excitement. What could be better? And these guys on the Celtics had never seen a Dead show before. I mean, hundreds of shows for me. And so while the band is warming up and taking the last few notes, the excitement is just so palpable. Your skin is just goosebumps, electric as can be. Jerry Garcia, he steps forward into that little shaft of light, right where his microphone is, just to make sure everything is perfect, making sure his foot pedals are all there. And then he looks over into the enclave, and he makes eye contact with Larry Bird. And he looks at him, gives him a nod, a little wink, and he says to him, he says to him, "Larry, this is what we do." And then he turned back to the audience and just blew it out. 5-6 hours. Unbelievable. The crowd just absolutely on fire. The show's over. The band races off the stage. They got to get to the next show. The lights come on. Everybody is just wild-eyed as can be. It's so charged up. And the guys on the Celtics, they look at me and they say, "Wow. Oh my gosh, can we come back tomorrow?" And they've been going ever since.
Storyteller. Bill Walton is as well. His passion, his enthusiasm, his vocabulary, all of it fantastic. Really setting the scene and very representative of what I feel like I experienced the dead this weekend. Tiger Backwoods, nothing like enjoying a cold glass of milk at a concert. Yeah, something tells me it wasn't really milk and OJ in the ice chest, but maybe, maybe it was. Now, OJ does go good with some things that they could have potentially been partaking in at that time. Also, awful look for Danny Ainge. I mean, am I wrong here? Larry Bird's arranging. So Bill gets you set up with a private viewing stand front row for Grateful Dead at their peak. Larry Bird arranges limousines for the boys, and you can't go because your wife says you can't go. Danny, what are we doing, dude?
I mean, yeah, bad look for Danny, but like worse look for his wife. Like let the guy go.
Yeah, I mean, I think yes, I think both don't come off looking great.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think
both
both
suck.
don't coming up. Yeah,
They both
both kind of feel like they suck. After that, 5-6 hours, just Jerry Garcia jamming. All right, when we get back, let's go ahead and close out hour number 2, and then we got Nick Underhill kicking off hour 3. Still got to get the weekend winners, NFL story of the day. You're locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Get Gordon and get it done today. GetGordon.com is the website. If you can actually just fill out a free consult right there on the website. You can also read reviews from satisfied customers. You can also look into all the different sort of cases that they handle. Or you can just call them at 225-888-8888 and get somebody that's going to fight for you and stand up to the big insurance companies. Get you what you deserve. Follow them on social media at Get Gordon, where there's a ton of great content there. I mean, there's always like general kind of life advice, right? It's running a successful business and other things, which of course Gordon does. But then also steps to take if you are in an accident, how to protect yourself. And then also like great content with a lot of your favorite athletes from the G team. I mean, we just mentioned 8,888 reasons to rally, right? Gordon, one of the main supporters of your LSU Tigers. So what are you waiting for? You get in an accident, get Gordon, get it done. Get Gordon, get it done.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play this. It's Matt Moscona from all of us here at AFR, wishing you and yours a very happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. We'll take Monday off and be back on Tuesday. We'll know LSU's regional destination, and we'll talk about it. So join us Tuesday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Closing hour number 2. Getting ready to kick things off with Nick Underhill. Next hour, talking a little Saints OTAs, the latest from your black and gold. One thing that is going to be on the docket this week, and I'm sure we'll discuss more in depth this week as the SEC meetings take place down in Destin, is the new NCAA settlement. In case you missed it, I'll give you the broad strokes. So the NCAA was facing a lawsuit for capping players' abilities to earn from NIL for years, right? If they had lost said suit, I think they would have been on the hook for apparently $20 billion, which obviously would have bankrupted them and ended them as an entity. So they chose to settle. They will now pay $3 billion in back pay to athletes that were not allowed to benefit off their name, image, and likeness. Unfortunately, I think that, well, I say unfortunately, maybe unfortunately if you're older, I think that cuts off at 2016. So if you played 2016 before it got approved, last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was, you will be getting some form of money over the next 3 years as they pay this thing out. But maybe more importantly than settling up this back pay and the $3 billion price tag is the fact that now it is codified that schools can opt in to revenue sharing with their athletes. And from what I understand, it could be up to $20 million a year. And I say up to because the schools can kind of choose the level I believe that they want to do. Obviously, though, if you're a big school, you probably feel like you need to do the max amount, right? Like, let's say Georgia's going to do the max amount. Is LSU going to do 15? Can they get away with doing 15 if Alabama's going to do 20 to their athletes? And look, there's a lot of unknown here. I mean, that's the thing about this that I find to be kind of hard to parse or hard to wrap my head around is this is an incredibly significant change. I mean, this is the final death of amateurism. This is true. Like, capitalism has finally broken through into college sports, as now these schools will have to share the revenue that they make with the labor. How it's going to work, though, is interesting to me because nobody really knows. How do you abide by Title IX rules in terms of how you divvy up that $20 million? Will there be further arguments made about revenue generating sports needing to get more because they produce more? Like, I don't exactly know. There's a quote from Greg Sankey that I think lays that out. It says, quote, "There may have to be hard decisions. Some I can't even begin to imagine." So again, there's a ton of questions here. I think one of the other things that's going to be very interesting to try to figure out is how do schools make room to pay up to $20 million in rev share to the athletes? Is this a is it a situation where the money's easier to free up than you think, and it's been creative accounting that's been lining the pockets or making the budget look like, oh no, we're barely making it, or we're right under so that the budget doesn't go down? Like, I mean, people play accounting games, but still, just coming up with $20 million year to year feels pretty massive in terms of freeing that up from a budgetary perspective and being able to give it to your athletes. So we'll continue to break it down more in depth as discussions continue to take place over this weekend. Greg Sankey has been talking once again about some sort of national reform led by federal Congress, but he's been very upfront that, quite frankly, it's not clear how much traction there is there. It's an election year. They got way more on their plate than what to do with college athletics. And though multiple bills have been trying to get started in Congress, well, nothing has really gone anywhere. And to be honest, it doesn't sound like Sankey was very optimistic that there would be any change there. He's going to continue to try. He said going into his 10th year, one of the biggest differences in year number 10 is he has way more phone numbers of city members of Congress. But again, I just don't know how much of an appetite there is right now. Maybe post-election year. I still kind of doubt it. But I'm going to be fascinated to see if this settlement really is kind of the end of this fight, or do you continue to head towards students? Because right now, under this, students are still not technically employees, which probably works out maybe arguably better for student athletes. But we'll see. We'll see, because it's such a massive, big change, and it seemingly came together so fast that, like, I don't fully grasp how this is all going to be enacted or worked in over the next couple of years. But again, the main point of it all is that amateurism is officially dead when it comes to NCAA athletics, as they will now be getting direct revenue sharing from the schools themselves. Danny Ainge is a practicing Mormon. I didn't know that. All right, coming up next, Nick Underhill from New Orleans Football. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You want to rejuvenate your youthful, energetic feeling? Well, that's where Rejuve Me comes in. Get that free consultation. Let them draw your labs. And the information that your body contains is the guide for them to customizing a plan for you. Maybe HRTs for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe some glutides for you. Maybe it's not. It could be something as simple as a B vitamin shot. But they have a ton of different treatments. They're Rejuve Me. So the point is, your body is the guide. They come up with a plan, and they customize it for you to get you back to where you want to be, so you can fight the untreated effects of aging. And I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, male, female. I don't care. You want to feel better? You're going to maximize your potential? You want to go to Rejuve Me Medical. Baton Rouge, Slidell, Metairie, and Monroe as well. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, May 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 94. In Hour 3 of today's show, we'll be joined by Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football at 9 a.m. We'll have weekend winners and the NFL story of the day. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 3. And right now, as we do every single Tuesday at 9 a.m., we are joined by Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football. Go sub to the YouTube channel. Go sign up for New Orleans Football if you want to stay up to date with the latest from Saints OTAs and whatnot. And Nick, first off, what's going on, man? How was your Memorial Day?
It was solid. It was solid. How you guys doing?
Doing better. I'm doing well, very well. Just got back from Vegas. Went and saw Dead and Company at the Sphere. So my brain is a psychedelic mush right now, but we're feeling pretty good overall, I'd say, here on this Tuesday.
I mean, yeah, Jake usually carries, so I mean, you'll be fine.
Okay, relax, Nick. He's not even here today. Thank you very much. Okay, he's at the Destin Spring meeting, so literally not true. I'm sorry that you two can't sit there and clap each other's back talking about Alex Horvath. I do want to ask you, though, look, every single conversation this offseason, and especially during OTAs, goes back to Clint Kubiak. And it's easy to see why, right? A new guy after a system of, 18 years, basically, of doing the same thing. But you have a piece that went up a little less than 24 hours ago that I found to be kind of shocking. And it talks about the accountability that Kubiak is demanding of his players. But the reason why I say it's shocking, Nick, is was it really that lax under Pete Carmichael? Because as the article presents it, it seems like it was like Carmichael just kind of chilling, letting everything go, and then players having to kind of correct one another.
Yeah, I mean, well, last year, I mean, that was kind of one of the things, and Alvin Kamara talked about it a lot, and talked about it very openly, just about how the cultural differences between Sean and going to Pete, and just that things would happen in practice and they wouldn't stop to make the corrections. And, it was just kind of, I mean, yeah, at one point, Alvin was asked about that, and he talked about how the players kind of had to take it upon themselves to kind of do some of that stuff. And I think there's two ways to do things, though. I mean, there's a way of doing things like that and kind of being, quote unquote, a player's coach or whatever, but I mean, you do got to make the corrections. You do got to have the accountability. And, it was day one OTAs with when a lot of those interviews for that story were done. And I mean, that was kind of the thing that was standing out to a lot of players is just kind of, they had just gotten done with the film session and it was like, wow, this is different. And, that's kind of something that I think is needed. I mean, I do think some of the details went to the wayside last year, and I think that was reflected on the field. And I do think at a certain point, they did kind of figure things out last year, but it took a long time to get there. And that was one of the things a lot of the vets kind of pointed to, is that they wanted that kind of, call me out in a meeting, let me know that this is wrong. If we're fumbling, make somebody run a lap. That was kind of the stuff they wanted last year. And now they're getting it. And I mean, when you make a change, there's reasons for making a change, obviously. And I think there was a lot of things Pete did well. And, I think maybe he was in a role that wasn't perfect for him. And I think he's probably in one now, kind of being, the OC under an offensive-minded head coach. I think that's probably where he belongs. So it's not like a trash Pete Carmichael thing. It's just kind of, when they make a change, there's reasons. And I think that accountability factor is probably one of the things that was missing. And they kind of missed, the bad cop, I think, in general on that side of the ball. And, I think they have people now just on this offensive staff beyond Kubiak that can go around, call people out, get their attention. The wide receivers coach, he coached with Derek Carr when he was at Fresno State. Like, he's somebody that can kind of cross that aisle and point out something bad to Derek Carr while also, doing it to the wide receivers. Derek will take that because he knows them. Like, there's a history there. He's able to do that. And I think, little things like that thought process behind, like, okay, we're going to hire this guy. He has a relationship with Derek. He's kind of, deemed, kind of like the uncle that's willing to tell you what you don't want to hear. It's kind of how players describe him. And if he can do that to Derek and the young receivers who had trouble having chemistry with Derek last year, that kind of humanizes them a little bit and puts them all on the same plane. So I think a lot of this stuff with the offensive staff was really planned out. Now, in practice, we'll see if it actually plays out how they want it to. But I think the way, that it all came together, it's all very logical. It all makes a lot of sense. It kind of feels like they got the pieces there. And, we'll see. But I do like the thought process behind a lot of the stuff they did, and we're seeing that on the field now.
Nick, what about Derek Carr? Has there been any? I mean, I guess I'll just ask this in the most lowbrow, kind of douchey way possible. But what's the kind of Derek Carr vibe check right now?
I think he's trying, like the schedule video where he kind of made fun of, himself for the criticism and, all that stuff. Like, I think there's a little bit of awareness that things, just on a human relationship level didn't go great last year. But I do think he is who he is. But one thing I like, there's like him and Demario Davis are doing some sermon at a church upcoming. Like, that just kind of, you get a leader on the defensive side, a leader on the offensive side, kind of doing something together off the field. Like that at least kind of shows like a bridging of the gap. And, last year, one of the things I kind of felt in that locker room was like kind of a divide between the offense and the defense kind of feeling like, they had to carry a lot of weight. And like, there was kind of a feeling of that. So like, to see that, I think is a meaningful thing. Is, whatever it is, like if they're having a foundational event off the field, a church thing, like whatever it is, like it doesn't matter what it is. The fact that they're doing it together is the thing that's important. So I mean, I think that's good. But again, I think Derek's kind of who he is though as a person. But I do think last year, like there was definitely a shift, like over that last 4 or 5 weeks where there was more chemistry, there was more understanding. And I think they started to figure some of that stuff out last year. Hopefully they hit the ground running this year. I mean, I like the stuff they're doing with Carr in practice right now. They're kind of like, working on his footwork, and he seems to be really taken to that. They got the little T-shirts that all the quarterbacks are wearing about like the footwork slogan. So there seems to be a lot of buy-in into what they're doing right now. And, seeing Derek bought into that is a good thing. I don't think that was ever really a risk, but like, him just kind of being willing to take that coaching, being, into his 30s, being willing to say, okay, like my footwork could be better. I think all that stuff is good signs, but I think the vibes did shift last year. And I do think that the younger guys are kind of a little bit more bought into Derek. I think they all figured out how to talk to each other, and hopefully that's something that can carry on into this season.
Now, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the second OTA that's been open to the media here?
Yeah.
Okay, so what have you maybe heard in the interim practices, and what are you kind of looking forward to most today when you get out there on the field?
I think people feel, very, very, very cautiously optimistic about Trevor Penning right now. He stayed at right tackle through all 3 practices last week. We'll see when we go out there today. It's the start of week 2. Today's the first one that's open this week. So I expect to see him out there again, though. And that's kind of one of the things that people are talking about, that he looks confident, that he looks functional, that it isn't starting out at a disaster point. Like, I think that there's a little bit of optimism about the starting spot. Now, the caveat there is that there's no real blocking or anything like that. But, the analogy I would use is like when you go to like London and you're trying to cross the street and you got to change the way, like, you're looking to cross the street, like, it's hard. Like, you get almost hit by cars a lot. Like, so for him to be able to flip to the right side and kind of like not look lost, and like his footwork's okay, his movements are right, like there isn't like this like hesitation, like it looks like he's able to process it. And not everybody can. Like, there's a lot of guys that can shift sides on the line. There's a lot of guys who can't too. So I think, starting out, he looks like somebody who can, and I think that gives him something to build from. So that's a good starting spot for him. I think they're kind of watching their safety depth right now to kind of see where it goes. I don't think the door's closed on bringing somebody else in, but I think they kind of want to see how that goes. Jordan Howden's sideline right now because he had off-season shoulder surgery, so he's out there, he's watching, he's close, but like he isn't taking part in the team portion of it. He did go through walkthrough before the last practice, but I think that's an area where they're kind of looking. I think they feel great about their linebacker depth. You can kind of see it with Willie Gay when you go out there. Like, there's a lot of range, and it was kind of interesting to me. He was getting, when they were in base, like he was getting some snaps on the weak side, and Werner was on the strong side, which I kind of expected it to be flipped, but maybe they're just trying that out to see how it looks. So that was kind of interesting too. I think they kind of feel good about their team, but everybody does this time of year. That's kind of, they just, nobody's out there like, man, this is a disaster. Like the Panthers probably feel good about their team right now. Like everybody does. But I do think that, that Penning piece, I think there was a lot of concern and just, you can kind of hear it's like dissipated a little bit, but there is a very, very long way to go before he's actually functional and on the field.
We'll see. I mean, he's young. He's young, right? Like, and he missed an entire year basically with that foot injury. Like, there's still a chance that he does develop into a starter. Maybe not great, but like a starter, if nothing else. Nick Underhill, Nick_Underhill on Twitter. NewOrleans.football is the site. Go sign up today. Subscribe to the NOF Network on YouTube. Nick, thank you so much for joining us again, man. Have fun out there on the field today.
Yeah, appreciate you. Have a good one.
You too, brother. Look forward to getting with you next time. All right, coming up next, we got Jay Kester live from the SEC Spring Meetings in Destin. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. You need any type of door. You need hardy plank or vinyl siding. You need wood or vinyl windows. You need to get with Tommy's. That's GEAUX Tommy's.com. GoTommy's.com is the website where you can explore some of their customer reviews. You can see galleries of their work. You can research why they talk about the integrity that they have, how dependable they are, how efficient they are. Really, you can see why Tommy's is the answer for your job. And one of the reasons why is, look, they've won the Angie Service Award all 7 years that they've been in existence, because Tommy himself has been in this game for 27 years now, y'all. And after 20 years, he decided, you know what, I think I want to make my own company because there's things that I would do a bit differently. And they've done it differently to great success over the last years. So make Tommy's one of the 3 bids on your next project and let them prove it to you. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner.
Charles Hannegriff. Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. We are taking the Memorial Day holiday. We'll be back on Tuesday getting you ready for the NCAA tournament. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Alondra, and Taylor hanging out with you. Right now, we got our guy, Jakey, on the phone, who is in Destin, live at the SEC spring meetings as the future of the conference being discussed. Texas and Oklahoma represented in full this year, breaking down this NCAA settlement. Jake, what's going on, man? What's been the smoke on the street thus far at the meetings? What's everybody chattering about?
What's up, T-Bob? Certainly want to get a recap of Las Vegas here in a second, but before we get there, we've only talked to administrators so far. Coaches actually start at 10:30, and our first coach is going to be Jeff Levy. And, you know, the administrators kind of all had the same, hey, this was always inevitable, this was going to happen, it was accelerated, but you kind of figured this was going to happen, blah, blah, blah. I want to hear from the coaches. Like, I want to hear, like, how much they think this is going to impact their rosters. And so we start with Jeff Levy. I think we have Sarkisian today. BK is today as well, I believe. And so we'll start to roll through some of these coaches because, like, I want to hear, hey, when you're recruiting or when you're putting roster management, you know, up on the board and you're going through rosters, like, how much is this pay for play going to affect you? So hopefully we get that information, too, because, again, like the administrators, you know, they are.
Did the administrators, did they answer how they're going to come up with the money? Because that's one of the more interesting parts to me is how do you clear up, you know, up to $20 million out of your budget when a lot of these colleges, although I think some creative accounting does take places at times, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these colleges say that, oh, they don't have the money. And it's like, well, now you better find it.
Well, yeah, and so unfortunately, the ones that we've talked to has been like the big dogs. Like it's been Georgia, it's been Alabama. We have Candace Story-Lee from Vanderbilt a little bit later on today, and I just want to know if that conversation is going to be different than the one with Georgia and Alabama. You know, like how Mississippi State, like how is the schools that we don't have with this endless checkbook where they can just continue to write it. Like how is that going to go? And so it's been a little surprising, just like, oh yeah, this is something that was inevitable. We knew it was coming. Like maybe they've been coached to say that, but I'm curious from the Vanderbilts, the Mississippi States, some of those other schools, like what they say and how they're going to come up with $20 million plus.
Jake, what about? Oh God, why am I blanking right now? I just had a question lined up and it slipped out of my mind. I think my brain's a little addled still.
I mean, your brain's been through a lot.
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt it has. What are you most looking forward to, do you think, over the week? Talking to Mark Stoops?
Mark Stoops is today, I think, at 1 o'clock.
Oh,
so in
man.
case you're wondering when
Watch
that's
out.
coming, I knew you were on the edge of your seat.
I just felt you
honestly,
go from 6 to midnight. How you feeling over there, big boy?
He's a coach that's top 15 in the country, just won a lot of games. Okay, all jokes aside, I am probably most fired up to keep, finding out like how Texas and Oklahoma are going to integrate themselves into the conference. They were here last year, but it was just the ADs and the SIDs. This year, it's Steve Sarkisian, it's Brent Venables, it's Rodney Terry, the basketball coach for Texas. It's everybody. So this is like their first official event in the SEC. And saw Sarkisian a little bit earlier, was talking with him, and man, they feel fired up to be here, and you can tell he knows he's got a good football team as well. Hadn't seen Brent Venables yet, but this is the first event. This is like their first official. We are fully in. You see the Texas logo. They've all got the SEC logo on the other side of it, and so that is still something that intrigues me in the fact that they're finally going to be here. We've talked about it for so long, T, and now it's actually finally happening.
Hell yeah, man. Well, look, you're gonna be covering it. You're gonna be updating the shows here on 104.5 ESPN throughout the day. So we look forward to getting the kind of boots on the ground reporting from here on out.
I'm trying to get Coach Mulkey. Trying to find her, and I'm just.
Did she go this year? Because she didn't go last year, right?
Yeah, she had. I think she had a medical issue
That's
last
right.
year. I don't think.
Yep.
So I don't think every coach is here. I think some, like 2 or 3 of them. I think maybe Don Staley might have had something as well. I'm not sure, but I think if Coach Mulkey's here this year, we got to get her down there with me, PB, and CD. That's my goal. Trying to make sure we get her on set this year.
Any thoughts on LSU's SEC championship run before I let you go?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, even the last game, right? I mean, where you fight back and you're, one run and you're right there, you get one hit, you tie it up. I mean, they never quit. The Milam situation where he hits the walk-off is going to be one of those memories we all remember forever. The play is a play, even though it still worked out in LSU's favor. It's going to be something we talk about for a very long time. It's like so LSU that a play that's never happened before happens to LSU, right? And so that run, man, was so much fun to be able to watch, and it just showed the grit of this team. It showed what they're capable of as well. Like if I'm North Carolina and I'm sitting there and I see LSU pop up, like I'm wondering, who did I hurt?
Yeah.
What did I do wrong? Because North Carolina's a really good baseball team. I think they've only lost, 12 games or something like that all season long. But with the way LSU's playing, and they set up better for a super regional maybe than even a regional, but if they can get through this regional, it sets up a potential drama fest filled super regional with Arizona, Jay's old team. And again, when you have Holman, you have Gates Jump, that's going to give you the opportunity to go out there and even, make the College World Series, which when you're 3-12 in the SEC, none of us would have had that.
Would be amazing. We'll see. Starts this Friday. All right, Jakey, we will check in with you again tomorrow. Tell Mark Poops I said what up. And you have an excellent day.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Vegas, Sphere, Dead & Company. I mean, did it live up to all of that?
Yeah, it was amazing. Okay. It was mind melting in more ways than one. I felt bad for my guy Donald that was sitting next to me as he continued to try to talk to me throughout the show, and I was slowly but surely losing the ability to communicate. But it was amazing, man. It was.
Look, Donnie. I mean, we're not here to talk. We're here to listen.
It's funny. I mean, he's an old school deadhead. You know what's funny? A lot of very successful deadheads, like a bunch of finance bros. He was like a CEO of like some like sort of bond company. I don't know what the hell he was talking, but like he comes from. I mean, he comes from one of 8 children. He grew up in New England. He has 4 kids himself. He is one of 5 boys, the youngest, the second youngest overall in his family. He used to go camping with his kids growing up quite a bit.
I mean,
he doesn't drink or do drugs anymore. He used to do Boy Scouts, but he didn't go the Eagle Scout route because he liked to smoke weed a little bit too much, he said.
Yeah.
I mean, we got close.
So he talked his tongue dry, it sounds like.
He did not give a damn about anything I was saying, which eventually became an advantage because I couldn't talk anyway. So
that's true. That's
it was
true.
fine, but
that motor function left your body. I got you.
I mean, he was, and it was so funny because the entire time, in the most dad move possible, he is just filming the Sphere. He had one of those fold up Samsungs, and the entire time he's not watching the Sphere, he's constantly filming the Sphere, which I thought was fantastic.
He's got a 72-minute video of the Sphere.
Like 100%. Every single different animation he was filming. But my man loved the dead, and he gave me a ton of cool like dead facts along the way. So
okay, all right. Well,
great.
I'm glad the trip went well.
It
and
went very
sounds like it went exactly like I thought it was going to go, and that makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, I hope yours goes exactly as you want it to go, and you and Mark Stoops like have some beers together and get to be best friends.
There's no beers. It's only expensive stuff when you hang out with a class like Mark Stoops.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you get paid $9 million a year. I mean, come on, dude. You better be buying the good bottles.
Touche.
All right, y'all. Later, Jake. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Do it.
Okay. Coming up. Well, does anybody have a weekend winner that they want to get to real quick? Because we got our NFL story of the day. We got a couple minutes here. We can do a couple. Let's do a little weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
Okay, well, let me start here. What exactly happened with the catcher balk call? I still don't understand it myself. So I want to say weekend loser to the ump for making that call. But, I mean, again, it's like Jay Johnson said in the postgame. He's been coaching baseball for 24 years, and he has never seen that call, much less in that setting on that stage. So what exactly is the explanation there?
So I think from what I understand, and I don't really fully understand it either, I think that Brady Neal had to wait for the ball to be in his hand. I'm probably messing this up.
Yeah,
but before he got in front of the plate, because it was like ruled like obstruction, right?
Yeah, which I don't get. I thought catchers, the whole point of being a catcher is you stand there and
block
the plate and take the
plate,
hit.
Yeah, or like before the pitch was, he did it before the pitch was thrown or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, if nobody understands it, then maybe it's just stupid.
I did love. Okay. Catchers cannot receive a pitch in front of the plate, is what Champ's saying.
So I was kind of.
I did love the.
I was kind of there.
I did love the Johnson talking about when the ump told him, and the first thing the ump says is, "You're not gonna like this." Yeah, you think? Definitely. Tiger backwards said, but he never got in front of the plate. Well, I think that was Jay's issue, right? Is that you can't review it.
Yeah.
And
because it was a judgment call.
Yeah, and
I
unfortunately, I don't know. Anyway, weekend loser, that out.
Yeah.
What
weekend winner, MLB and MLB fans everywhere, because Angel Hernandez, arguably the worst umpire ever, is retiring.
I know everybody hates Angel. I like Angel.
Bruh.
I like I like him and Joe West. How about that?
Anyways,
Suck
MLB
it, nerds.
MLB and MLB fans, the winners.
Give me Cowboy Joe West and Angel Hernandez
Angel
any day.
Hernandez is retiring and is not tormenting us anymore.
All right, my weekend winner is going to be a special one for T-Bob Hebert, probably his favorite professional sports city. Weekend winner to the Boston Celtics. They sweep the Indiana Pacers to make it to the NBA playoffs. Now, a lot of people expected them to win this series.
They made the NBA playoffs. That's
NBA
impressive.
Finals. A lot of people expected them to win this series, but they're also 12-2 total in the NBA playoffs. They won 4-1 against the Heat in round one. They took a 4-1 series against the Cavs, and now 4-0 against the Indiana Pacers. So 12-2 in the postseason. So weekend winner has to be Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're doing what they did in the regular season, basically, and what everybody expected them to do. They were clearly the best team in the East, and, well, it looks like it. What are your Mavs up to now? What is that, 3-1?
3-0. 3-0. They are up 3-0. One more. They actually played tonight. Do I think they're going to sweep? No, I don't, but they are going to win this series.
It's
I
at
truly
home.
believe that as well.
Dallas, so hot right now, except for Dak. I mean, all right, the Rangers won a World Series recently. Aren't the Stars getting frisky
Stars
right
in the
now?
playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, Stars getting frisky, Mavs getting frisky.
I know.
Pressure's on, Cowboys.
Cowboys bringing down sports in Dallas.
Well, I mean, they got Zeke, so they'll be good.
It'll be good.
They do have
That'll
Zeke.
be good.
They have
Can't wait
Zeke
to
now.
hear.
We don't talk about that enough.
I can't wait to hear how angry Taylor's going to be at Zeke by week 2.
Nah.
Any other weekend
He's
winners?
already angry.
I actually have one if nobody else has
Yeah,
one.
go.
I'm a loser.
I didn't do any. Yeah, you guys go.
Do you want to do the loser?
Yeah, Ronald Acuna Jr. tore his ACL, so he's out for the rest of the season.
Ooh, harsh, Alondra, calling him a loser.
Well, yeah, you're kind of a,
Maybe Braves fans.
Yeah, I was thinking Braves fans might be the losers there because of a tragic
I'm not saying
break.
he's a loser. I'm just saying, like,
just literally said
but I
Ronald
think
Acuna's
that
a
you're
weekend
thinking
loser
of
for tearing his
loser
ACL.
in a way that I'm not trying to
geez.
say it.
No, I
He's
get
a-
what you're saying.
Like, he's
Bad
not
break.
Yeah.
Bad break for Ronald.
It's a loss.
That sucks, and that does suck for Braves fans.
And for him.
Yeah, and for him, for sure.
Okay, so last weekend winner, Hester talked about this about a week and a half ago about Birmingham Southern. Their school will officially close on May 31st. They've done it. Birmingham Southern will be in the Division III College World Series with no college to go back to. It will close on May 31st. But it gets a little bit crazier. Their team, they clinched, obviously, the best of 3 in the Super Regional. 1/3 of the Birmingham Southern team was sick due to food poisoning because of some bad chicken Alfredo in the team hotel. This was during the must-win Game 3. 2 of the players that were throwing up throughout the game were actually the 2 relief pitchers that came in and saved the game for Birmingham Southern. So they have no school to go back to. 1/3 of their team is sick with food poisoning. And this team just keeps on winning. My question is, if they go and win the whole thing and get that Division III College World Series trophy, where does it go? Because the school is now closed.
I don't know. I mean, that's a great question.
But yeah, weekend winner, Birmingham Southern. They just keep on defying the odds.
Shout out Birmingham Southern, man.
That's pretty cool.
Getting done. Weekend loser, whoever made that Alfredo.
Yeah.
Come on, bruh. Tighten up.
It's Alfredo. How you mess that up?
Tighten up.
It was probably the chicken.
Some spoiled dairy,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, Alfredo maybe.
Are you really?
But how do you
think
not
the chicken
notice?
would be the culprit?
But how do you not notice that it's
chicken or the
spoiled?
pasta? Definitely the chicken.
Not the pasta. No, I'm saying, but the Alfredo sauce it has like milk in it, doesn't it? Or dairy.
Yeah.
It has dairy in it. It could be spoiled dairy
But
as
how
well.
do you not notice it's spoiled? It smells
Yeah,
really
that's
bad.
true, right? Like raw chicken could slip by probably easier than spoiled dairy could.
Yeah.
So maybe actually, Taylor, maybe you're right for once. Maybe it was
Look
the
at
actual
that.
chicken.
Stranger
Shout out
things have
Tay-Tay.
happened.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Tay-Tay and Dad's recording videos or whatever.
Yeah.
So when I went to go see Taylor Swift, my uncle was with us. He recorded maybe the entirety of the whole Taylor Swift show. And then when we got back, he was like, it's so that y'all can watch it on the TV whenever y'all want. Because you could like airplay it or whatever.
no, I know. That's so wholesome.
Ask him how many times we've watched that on the TV.
Zero.
Absolutely
Well,
none.
I mean, that's why I say it's wholesome, because it's obviously misguided, because
Yeah.
the audio fidelity
Mhm.
of a phone recording at a concert tends to be awful.
Yeah.
And isn't the Eras Tour literally on Netflix
It
as
is.
well?
It is. It wasn't at the time. It wasn't at the time, but he recorded.
Hey, it's the
majority of
thought
the
that
show.
counts.
Yes,
it's the thought that counts.
Shout out-
Okay,
shout out James.
People going nuts in theaters over
Very
that
wholesome
Eras Tour.
thought.
Shout out Jimmy John.
Did you go see it in theaters? How would you
No,
know
I'm
this?
next door trying to have a nice date with Victoria. We're watching Saw 10, and then there's people just screaming at the top of their lungs next door. I can hardly enjoy the movie.
I don't think you get to be holier than thou when you're sitting in Saw 10. You get what you deserve.
No, seriously.
Like,
And the
it is what it is. You're
That
in
was
Saw.
scary. It was scarier than
you're,
Saw 10.
You're in Saw 10.
Yeah. It's a good movie, by
Avo
the way.
says weekend winner Will Levis. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
Oh, I'll fill you in the break.
We'll talk about it during break, yeah.
Oh. I'm intrigued.
I'll
will
show
be
you in the
intrigued.
break. Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You're gonna love this.
Is it a
If you know, you know.
a pick?
It's a little more than a pick.
There might be some video involved.
What? Oh, wow. You know me, I am curious.
I know.
Go check it out. When we get back, NFL, Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Go to CentralPlumbing.org today for all your plumbing needs, man. They've been doing it for over 50 years. They are your one-stop plumbing shop. I've seen it all. They can fix it all. You need, also remember, it's not just repairs, right? You need a bathroom remodel. Maybe you're going to get something like a tankless water heater, take your bathroom to the next level. Well, Central Plumbing can do that. Great gift idea, guys and gals, for whoever the interior lover is in your home. Again, because a happy bathroom, what do they say? Happy bath, happy at? No, I don't think so. But you get the point. Also, remember, if it is repair work, licensed, bonded, and insured, flat rate pricing, great warranty once the work is done. They send information about who's coming into your home ahead of time so you can fully trust everything top to bottom about Central Plumbing. 50 years of getting it done. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few.
So we're taking the day off on Monday, but join us for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers. Hunt back in the chair. We're recapping the SEC tournament. Glenn West and Sharif Ishak join the show. It's the Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Eric Charles says Adam LaRoche is Birmingham Southern's coach. He basically quit baseball because the White Sox told him to quit bringing his kid to work. Now the kid is one of the stud pitchers for the team. Fun story. Hell yeah. Shout out Adam LaRoche. All right. It is now time for Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day.
T-Bob, we all the time talk about wide receivers getting in trouble in the offseason.
Yeah.
It seems like it happens every year. Kickers are catching up to them. We heard about Harrison Butker's commencement speech that had everybody talking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yesterday a story broke about Brandon McManus, who was with the Jaguars last year. He's actually with the Commanders this year. 2 women are suing Brandon, alleging that he sexually assaulted them during their flight to London in September 28th of last year. Weirdest part about the story, they're both named Jane Doe. Jane Doe the first and Jane Doe the second.
So
Wait.
On the flight to London?
Well, so here's the thing. The 2 women...
2 different people?
They worked as flight attendants.
Oh.
They say that McManus and several other players disregarded the personal space of flight attendants. It also says that McManus recruited 3 other flight attendants that are not suing him to party, and he passed out $100 bills to encourage them to drink and dance inappropriately for him. The first lady says that McManus tried to kiss her while she was seated during a session of turbulence. The other claimed that he grinded up against her while she was serving the flight's second meal service. So seems like McManus and a couple other players decided to just turn this into a big party. A couple of the other flight attendants actually partied with them. These 2 women did not want to take part in that, and they have named Brandon McManus by name as trying to kiss them, grind up on them, dancing inappropriately when they did not want to. So he's in a little bit of trouble.
That's horny.
It is, yeah. He literally paid them $100 bills to dance inappropriately for them on the team plane.
That's like Wolf of Wall Street.
I'm saying, yeah, like on the team plane is the portion to me that's kind of shocking there, because like if like all you wanted was to do the actions that he's describing there, like there are plenty of legal places in which the accepted social contract is that exact thing, right? I mean, there's plenty of gentlemen's clubs in the UK, I would assume, that he could have gone to right away. I guess Brandon just couldn't wait on the plane or something. I feel like the NFL's going to crack down hard on this, right?
Wait, when was this?
This was September of last year. So he's not with the Jaguars anymore. He's with the Commanders now.
He's
but they were heading to London. Yeah,
since 2016.
Oof. The thing about it, this story's not going to be over because, like I said, like they said there was a handful of players that were doing this. He's the only one that has a lawsuit against him because of these 2 specific women. I mean, there could be other people coming out against other players. This may not be over.
Look, I lived with kickers. They're crazy, man. They're crazy. They tend to be some of the hardest partiers
kickers
on the team a lot of times, so pitchers, I'm not wholly surprised.
Pitchers, who else falls into that category?
I mean, it's usually receivers in the offseason.
They're nuts.
Goalies are a little weird too.
Receivers, yes, but also receivers have to work a lot more. Kickers got the most downtime.
Yeah, for sure.
And so they're always getting into like, I know a lot of hard partying, very sexually charged kickers.
The craziest part about this party, if the article's correct, it said it was their flight to London. So they're partying hard like this on the plane heading to the game. not coming home because this is their flight
Yeah.
to London.
Well, you're going
so-
a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
So you're not like, it's not like the night before the game or anything.
Still wild.
Yeah. I knew a kicker back in the day that was taking a shower with two girls in the girls' dorms. When the RA came in and like a movie, he had to sprint out naked, holding his clothes.
Oh my God.
And like hide in the bushes and change and escape. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Tiger Backwoods. Getting horny in front of your coaching staff is weirdo stuff. But yeah, like the coaches are on the plane too, right? Like,
Yeah, like, what is everybody else doing?
I don't know.
Unless they take two different planes.
What is everybody else doing in this situation?
Brandon, you acting a fool, dog.
For real.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, so the lawsuit actually claims that the Jaguars failed to supervise like the entire team. So don't know if the coaches weren't there and they were supposed to be or what, but the Jaguars are actually named in the suit as well.
I mean, it would have made sense if Urban Meyer was still there, but under Doug Peterson, it's a little more surprising.
Yeah, they said failing to supervise, so it kind of sounds like they weren't there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
NFL story of the day. Maybe one day you can give us a story that isn't dark. I feel like you've had a lot of dark stories lately.
Hey,
Can't we
it's
get
off
like
season.
a good like OTA story about like Deuce Vaughn or something? Not that I want Deuce Vaughn to have a good story because he plays for the Cowboys, but like just something like wholesome one day.
And I bet you Taylor would give you like a good feel-good story like that, and you'd be like, nah, it's not good enough.
Yeah, no. He wants
Hey, it's
some
off
dirt.
season. It's the juicy topics.
All right. When we get back, Ask the Bench to close out the show. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Your one-stop vehicular shop, y'all. If you want to buy a new vehicle, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle, maybe you want to rent, maybe you want to lease, whatever you need, it's all there at All-Star. And they're located on Airline in Goodwood, very conveniently located, I should say. If you need a body shop, service shop, whatever, go into All-Star Service Center, okay? All makes and models are welcome. It doesn't have to be a Toyota. It doesn't have to be from All-Star. You got factory parts right on there on site. They give you a free professional estimate. They update you throughout the process with texting or calling, meaning that no big decisions are made without you making the call. And when you get your car serviced there, they actually have a shuttle service where they can drop you off your home, pick you back up later that day. If it's a big job, again, you can rent that right there on site. Mislead sessions will give you cheaper per day rental prices than your traditional rental companies. The bottom line is, if you need a vehicle, you need All-Star. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, also ToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties, so retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
Matt Moscona from all of us here at AFR, wishing you and yours a very happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. We'll take Monday off and be back on Tuesday. We'll know LSU's regional destination, and we'll talk about it. So join us Tuesday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
You can just keep this playing, Alondra, if you want. Just turn it down a little bit.
Kind of like how I always do.
Okay, shut up.
Exactly like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ask the bench. How did the F-Bob fade hold up in Vegas? Whatever. I hate it, but it's fine. Ask the bench. With a show like today, when you do zero show prep, do you have a mild panic attack about 6:58 a.m.? Okay, no. Here's one page of full show prep.
We had a
Here's
lot of show prep.
2 pages of full show prep. Here's 3 pages of full show prep. Oh, wait, no, sorry. These are 2-sided. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suck it, nerd.
Yeah.
Ask the bench. Is anything convenient right now with Baton Rouge construction? I don't know.
No.
I will say this, like I saw these buildings in Vegas. I'm like, how in the world do they build this? Like, how long did it take? Continuing like widening a lane on the interstate takes us a decade. Ask the bench. Go to ice cream truck popsicle / ice cream. I mean, I love a classic Dove bar, but when I was a kid, my favorite thing was probably either the Snoopy or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle faces, where the nose, or sometimes like the baseball glove with the baseball in the mitt, that is where that's a piece of gum and the rest is ice cream.
I used to do the sour apple snow cone, and it had like the tear jerker bubble gum at the bottom. It was the green one. And then we had these things called screwballs. They had a strawberry and a blueberry. It looked like a cone, kind of like an upside down cone.
Yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Alondra, ice cream truck?
Yeah, just a good old classic ice cream sandwich.
Oh, it is great.
Yeah.
It is great. Ask the bench. They're considering expanding the college baseball field to 72. Do you hate that as idea as much as I do?
No, give me all the baseball.
I don't know. I don't love 72. That's a lot of teams to make it.
I feel like 4 teams in a regional's already kind of a lot.
Yeah, what's wrong with 64? Why not just keep it? I mean, I feel you. Like, I'm not going to be like too upset about it, but I mean, what would it be? It'd probably be like just like play-in games, like how they do in the NCAA basketball tournament. So it won't really affect me either way, I suppose.
I was sad when the SEC tournament was ending.
Yeah, for sure. It was such good entertainment.
It was.
Ask the bench. What do you do whenever you have a notification from Twitter, but you open it and there's nothing? I don't know.
I don't care.
Yeah. I pretty much have constant notifications going on, which is why I hate my phone and ignore it.
Excuse us.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of already assumed that.
Ask the bench. I'm going to Universal this summer. 2 parks, 2 days. What's your must-do? Taylor, tell him.
Must-do, if you're a roller coaster guy, go to Islands of Adventure first. Hop on all of those before they become a long line.
Yep.
Whatever the hottest day is, go to Universal Studios Park. Every ride and line, with the exception of Rip Ride Rockit, is all indoors. So your hottest day, go to Universal Studios. Your busiest day, go to Islands of Adventure.
Also, buy the what do you call it?
Park
Skip
hop?
the line.
Oh yeah, you got to go fast.
You have to get Fast Pass.
It's
Well,
like
do
the
the
Disney version of Fast Pass is very complicated.
Yeah.
Universal's is
like
not
it.
at all.
No,
You
it's
buy
not.
it and you just scan it.
It's 10 out of 10.
The 2-day 2-park hopper. It's the train. It's the Hogwarts Express. You can take it from one park to the other, so you
Yeah.
don't have to constantly exit the front and go back. That's a good thing to do. Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much nailed it. Butterbeer, always a must. Frozen, better than the regular. And they now have a butterbeer popsicle that I had last week. It's phenomenal.
It's so sweet.
I was about to say, can I be honest? I don't love the
Oh, I
butterbeer.
love it.
It's
But see,
so
I
sweet.
love, like,
dude.
super sweet stuff.
I know. It's a little too sweet for me. Hashtag now, like the actual beer, like the Dragon Ale, the Red Wizard Ale, that stuff's good, and so is I believe the Fire Whiskey. I think. Ask the Bench. What intoxicants was T-Bone on in Vegas? Psilocybin. Hashtag Ask the Bench. What video game are you into currently? I'm actually not really playing anything right now, unfortunately, other than chess. I have made a couple Warhammer models lately.
I play these New York Times Connections games every single morning, and they piss me off.
I hate those.
Keep your brain sharp.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly just the Connections one that pisses me off because I think they're making
Connections is
things
hard.
up. Yeah, I think they're making them up sometimes.
Ask the Bench. Go to Snowball because it's hot as heck out here.
Tiger's Blood.
Tiger Blood with condensed milk, baby. That's it. Taylor, say something that's
Blue
going to
coconut.
piss me off.
Clear cherry. It's a snow cone flavor. They do it for kids,
Okay,
so
be
you don't
quiet.
get the.
Be
You
quiet
asked
now.
me to piss you
Ask
off.
the Bench. What did you do in Vegas besides the Dead show? We had a table at Omnia for the Martin Garrix show, which made me feel really old. Really, really old. Ask the Bench. Favorite casino game? None of them.
Blackjack.
I hate gambling. Actually, not true. The most fun game, I didn't win any ever, but the most fun game that I had were these fake little horse races where little mechanical horses race around, and it was just super fun. It was awesome.
I'm a blackjack girl.
Yeah. And the one time we sat down to play blackjack, we got we got cleaned out so fast our drink didn't even get there in time.
Dang.
And I was like, all right, get me the hell out of here, dude. It's 2 a.m. I'm going to sleep. Y'all have a great day. We love you. And we'll see you tomorrow for some more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Trash Rangers. You can go to trashrangersllc.com or go to trashsignup.com. And if you live in Livingston or Essentia Parish, go ahead and make the switch today. Remember, guys, it's going to be, well, when you make the switch to Trash Rangers, you're going to give it a company that actually gives a damn about you. It's efficient. It's reliable. That texts you the night before about when they're coming to pick up the cans. A company that doesn't just keep the trash in Louisiana, but the profits as well. Unlike these national companies that take them out of state. No, Trash Rangers, it goes back into the community. Remember, Trash Rangers is hiring right now. So if you're looking for a career at an exciting company that's on the up and up, you can go check that out. Also, by going to trashrangersllc.com and getting in touch with them. And remember, if you or your business has any needs, even in Baton Rouge, anywhere, for some roll-off dumpsters, work with Trash Rangers. They'll find you the best solution. Trash Rangers, trashsignup.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs.